Artificial intelligence predicts the future. Retailers practically giving away stock. Protect yourself today, guys. When you hear the word control, what comes to mind first? Some may think of the World Economic Forum, but some may think of their normal 9-to-5 jobs, while some might say the government. It's really insane how much they want to control us, and some of the things I found will certainly unnerve you today. Do you want to live in a world where your every move is tracked? Just drop me a quick comment, yes or no, down below. Also, we're seeing the economic downturn. At least I know that I can see it. And we're going to see different industries just drop in the next few months. I'm talking about the housing market, real estate, automakers, small businesses, even retailers, and some large e-commerce businesses are going to see losses due to bloated inventory. Quick question. Are you planning on investing in any of these, or are you just going to keep your wealth secured? Better question. Do you have any money to invest? Should we expect a stimulus check, or are they just going to forget about that too? For your daily dose of the truth when it comes to the US economy, the stock market, fourth stimulus package updates, passive income, Social Security, and everything that's going on in Washington, D.C. that affects your bank accounts, be sure to click the subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell, guys. I appreciate you always dropping a like for the videos. I really do appreciate the support. You guys always make my day. And make sure your family is protected. Get your free home warranty quote. The link is in the description down below. It takes about 15-20 seconds. Me and my family, we got ours, and we're very thankful that we did. Artificial intelligence is both fascinating and scary at the same time. Now, if you guys have been on TikTok lately, I'm pretty sure you've seen users ask AI what cartoon characters look like in real life. Now, while that seems fun, look at what an AI predicts for Europe this winter based on news headlines. Not sure if you guys caught what it said at the end, but basically it said that these images weren't real, or at least not yet. I would really hate to look back at this video and see just how accurate this particular AI prediction will be. But here's hoping that we're not in for some huge surprise come wintertime. Although, speaking of surprises, Bill Gates, you know, billionaire, he says that he was surprised by the pandemic. I'll get to why I'm a little bit weirded out by this statement, but let's watch what happened at the Goalkeepers 2022, where Bill Gates was interviewed.
So my first question, I think, has to be for Bill here, and because of the intro, I'm dying to know, why did you put microchips in our vaccines, and what was the coolest thing you saw when you tracked all of us? No, okay, the real question, what was different from your experience about misinformation in the past 2 years? I mean, you've been a target, obviously, of something like this before. Is it more of the same, or have the last 2 years had a markedly different experience?
No, the pandemic was completely unexpected. I mean, literally, most days during the pandemics, 90% of the messages, millions of them that had anything to do with me, were about how maybe vaccines were a plot, you know, this whole tracking thing. You know, why do I want to track you? I don't know, you know. Do I have time to track all these people? And
I mean, I'm really interested.
Yeah, no, right. I could tell you a lot about yourself. And so, you know, in a way it was so strange, it was almost funny. But then, you know, I'd go out in the street and people would yell at me for putting chips in them. And, you know, things were written about, you know, these vaccines were actually to kill people instead of to save their lives. So I'd say the biggest tragedy is that it fragmented society, where certain sources, if they told you to wear a mask, that was the last thing you were going to do. Or they told you, to get the vaccine, particularly to protect, reduce transmission to elderly people, they didn't comply.
I'm sorry to say that one, Pfizer admitted that their vaccines were not capable of reducing transmission of the virus, and two, I'm puzzled as to why Bill was surprised by the pandemic. Watch this clip from 2015.
When I was a kid, the disaster we worried about most was a nuclear war. That's why we had a barrel like this down in our basement, filled with cans of food and water. When the nuclear attack came, we were supposed to go downstairs, hunker down, and eat out of that barrel. Today, the greatest risk of global catastrophe doesn't look like this. Instead, it looks like this. If anything kills over 10 million people in the next few decades, it's most likely to be a highly infectious virus rather than a war. Not missiles, but microbes.
I'm going to leave the judgment with you guys, but the evidence, it's all out there. So what's next though? Digital IDs to track everything that we do? Wait, seriously? Well, yes. And governments have been trying to get this commission for some time now. Look at this message from European Union Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. Quote, "Today we propose to offer Europeans a new digital identity, one that ensures trust and protects users online. With it, you will be able to prove your identity and share electronic documents with your European digital identity wallet with the click of a button on your phone." End quote. Is this draconian, Orwellian, total control of the population? We know that the Bill Gates and Melinda Gates Foundation, yes, this is also owned by Bill Gates, of course, committed $200 million to digital IDs and other public infrastructure. So I guess he does have time to track all of us. It's just weird that he kept joking about it, but turns around and funds something like this. It makes you wonder where their priorities lie. Even our governments. I'm not convinced that they're looking out for the best interest of the American people. As inflation gets worse, it seems as if they continue to focus on everything else than the American working person. If you think that things are getting better, I suggest that you check out the comment section. There you will see real stories from real people who are struggling with their cash flow, who have had a hard time paying for their rental properties, who rely on SNAP and are just waiting on EBT food stamp updates. Many seniors who were disappointed with their Social Security increase for 2023, and a lot of people who are still waiting on stimulus checks to actually be sent out. It's also clear that many different sectors are getting hammered these days. I mean, think about the real estate housing market. Mortgage rates, they keep rising with interest rates. There's also the auto industry where inventory is going to be a problem as people just cannot afford a new car anymore. I mean, look at the average monthly car payment for the average American. Heck, even used cars are piling up. Retailers are going to suffer with an inventory pileup. Walmart, Target, Toyota, Cadillacs, Chevys, you name it. They'll all have more stocks than they want. With the idea of printing more money and now federal stimulus checks a thing of the past, the party may be over for a lot of us. And this is where it gets really scary. Spending money is a pastime for most Americans, but once we see those layoffs come, these people's lives will spin, especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck. Now, I guess you could live off of your savings if you have any left, maybe your 401k, tap into your Roth IRA if you have one, or you could swipe those Visa, MasterCard, or American Express credit cards until they turn into dust. But both of these options have a limit. That's it. That's the end of the game. And then what? We could see another stimulus check if the government finally admits the economic downturn, or if the midterm elections get really, really bad for the Democrats, then maybe they will finally push for executive action and ask President Biden to fulfill the campaign promise of a fourth federal stimulus check. Maybe if small businesses start packing up shop and protests happen across the country, maybe they would realize the mess that we're in. I kid you not, guys, we are in for a world of hurt. And if you're not prepared, drop me a comment down below, because if you're not prepared, you and your family need to get ready, and you don't want to try to get prepared when it's too late. You have to prepare yourself and your families right now. If you have a job, great, but don't rely on it. Find a side hustle that you can start easily. Drop shipping isn't all that complicated to get into. Affiliate marketing, starting an e-commerce store. The key is in making another cash flow, basically multiple streams of income other than your general 9-to-5 wages, so that when the blank hits the fan, you and your family will be ready. So my question for you is, what are you doing today that will help you tomorrow? I'm really interested as to what moves you guys are already making to protect yourselves and your families to be in the best financial position for anything that might happen. And as always, go ahead and sound off in the comments down below. I love to hear from you guys. Now, is it just me, or does it seem like the vast majority of lawmakers are just completely completely out of touch with the needs of the American people. I can't be the only one who's thinking this. Now I've been on both sides of the fence. Money was very tight growing up, and every little bit made a big difference. Those of you who have been lucky enough to receive state-level stimulus checks are thankful, but those stimulus checks, they're not going very far. And if you're on a fixed income relying on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or even a low-income salary worker, just forget it. Inflation is eating up those wages faster than you can even get the direct deposit. It has gotten to a point that if you're not born wealthy, the only option left is to create additional income sources for you and your family just in order to survive. The average household lives paycheck to paycheck, and help in the form of a stimulus check from the government may show up too late. Increasing your income by picking a part-time job or a side hustle, or building some form of passive income, whether that's a dividend-paying stock, creating a small business or online business, may be the only way to survive in this new economy. Just imagine having enough cash left over to easily cover the cost of living, save and invest, and even have money left over to spend some time with your family on a vacation. Be sure to hit the link in the description down below for helpful information on how you can build passive income, creating online businesses, and increasing your income. Make sure to check out the links down below. While you guys are down there, make sure to smash the thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, you want to keep updated with everything that matters to you regarding our economy and your bank accounts, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because if you want the truth, you know where to get it. I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are all family to me. This is Ron. I wish you all good health and better days to come. Y'all be safe out there.